Before we respond to anything, let's go out there and look at all the comments made by Frank Seravalli, Daily Faceoff analyst and DFO Rundown podcast host, about the Vancouver Canucks superstar Elias Pettersson, because this did pop up over the weekend that I was out and about in America, so I didn't have a chance to talk about this until now, but I'm going to refer to a few videos, a few quotes, a few headlines as to what Seravalli has talked about in a few different segments in regards to Petey. So we'll start this out with this video here that was posted onto Twitter on Daily Faceoff on May 24th. Frank Seravalli shares his thoughts regarding comments made by Elias Pettersson. Now, what he's referring to is the Elias Pettersson comments about his knee injury. How Rick Tocchet said that, hey, Petey had tendonitis, how there was a thing going on ever since January, etc., etc. Now, this is a video. It's going to be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and listen to it, but I'm just going to go out there and recite what it was that Seravalli said from this clip. There are captions, so it's very easy to go out there and do that. Seravalli says, word for word, I've been around the NHL for 15 plus years now. If someone is hurt, first off, the team doesn't let them take bullets. And secondly, they do everything they can to shield and cover their player. None of those things happen in this case, which leads me to believe that whatever Pettersson was dealing with is 1-800 excuses, and that he needs to be better. He needed something to hang his hat on, that he could go back to himself at the end of the day and say, oh, you know what? This is on someone else. This is on my knee tendonitis. And Seravalli was getting kind of roasted for that. Yeah, I'm not going to say that it was unjustified as well. You know, he's going out there and saying that Pettersson was using the knee tendonitis as an excuse. 1-800 excuses, even though Petey himself said in that same press conference that he has been playing like crap since January. He didn't even use crap. He used the more explicit version of that. So I don't think it's excuses when the guy literally goes out there and says that he's been playing poorly. But then, Seravalli had a few other things that were talked about as well. This is a video from the Flames Nation YouTube podcast where they had Frank Seravalli on as a guest, and the headline is very simple. I think he's afraid and soft, Seravalli says about Elias Pettersson. And if you listen to that segment, I mean, it's kind of more of the same idea. You know, I don't want to give it too much attention here, but he does go out there and use those words. Afraid, soft. You know what, Elias Pettersson, I can understand the critique of calling him soft because he does tend to fall down a lot. Like, you know, people use the Bambi meme about Pettersson, how he's a skinny guy who, like, slips around and falls down a lot, but soft in terms of attitude, I don't know if I would say that at all. Because when Pettersson does decide to turn it on, he does decide to lay the body out. He does go for physical hits. He doesn't shy away from that. He does have that willingness inside of him. It's just, he doesn't really do it the best. And I think a lot of people can acknowledge that. There is an art to body checking and being able to take guys out without going down yourself, and Pettersson just has not mastered that at all. I mean, you can say that he might have been a bit soft in the playoffs this recent stint because of the tendonitis, because of his knee. We noted this in multiple post-game videos throughout the playoffs, but there were moments when Pettersson would actively shy away from going into a board battle, or he would back off from attacking the net, he wouldn't shoot. But I don't know, is it not, like, unprofessional to label it out on a podcast? Yeah, I think he's afraid, and I think he's soft. And because of this, all of this Elias Pettersson stuff from Frank Seravalli, he went out there on the most recent edition of the Daily Faceoff pod, and he said this: I firmly believe that Elias Pettersson's injury excuse really caught the Canucks by surprise. I think they felt like there were 15 other players playing through more than he was playing through. It became an excuse that makes everyone else look really bad. And of course, this tweet went out there and got a bunch of replies too. Seravalli got so much heat, a lot of people saying, yeah, no, because, like, of course, Elias Pettersson was just using this as an excuse. He's deflecting the blame. It's not like he actually did decline. Now that he's got the money, oh, he's gonna be, like, bad now. Louis Eriksson 2.0, trade the guy, like, you know, we can overreact in a certain train of thought, but Seravalli also made this statement on that same episode of the DFO pod. It's been an adventure with my social media feed in Vancouver the last few days, and I understand why. Perhaps I went a bridge too far with the quote D factor that I said Vancouver has, although I think more people who have been there, even the residents, would admit that there is a slight one. And so this is, of course, referring to a different segment of the same show where he said that Vancouver as a city, as a culture, kind of has this D-bag factor to it, and I'm not going to speak much about that. I mean, you can have your own reservations as to how Vancouverites are as human beings, but, like, is this not the most bizarre way to see an analyst kind of torch whatever public reputation he's got on social media amongst this city? Call out the team star player saying that he's using his injury as an excuse and that he's soft and that he's afraid. Then talk about how the city has this D-bag factor and how other players on the team were reportedly, like, surprised by Pettersson's comments about his injury. This is so interesting to me. And it's why I kind of held off a little bit to let the dust settle. I was like, yeah, we'll leave this video topic till the end of the show because I don't really know how to react to it. I don't know if it's like an intentional thing, like he wants to get up some clicks or engagement or antagonize Vancouver on purpose, but, like, it's not like Seravalli is a dumb dude. I don't think he's going out there thinking that Canucks fans are going to agree with him on this. No way, right? I mean, he's just saying what he's saying because he runs a hockey talk show, but I think it would be impossibly ignorant to not acknowledge that that would happen, right? To even know that, yeah, no, Canucks fans are going to be on my behind because of this. Like, I'm calling their star player soft and afraid. Granted, he did say that on a Calgary Flames-centered podcast, but, like, you know, Canucks fans listen to everything hockey, so yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about Frank Seravalli and his... Do I want to say it's like a vendetta? It kind of feels like that. In a way, it does. But his apparent ill-advised comments towards the Vancouver Canucks fans, called them all D-bags, to superstar Elias Pettersson and his reputation, and whether or not you think there's some truth to that. I think when it comes to Pettersson, it's not like he was using the injury as an excuse. It's more just a reason, and one of the many factors that contributed to him playing poorly from January up until the end of the year. You know what that saying is, right? Like, reasons are not excuses. Like, oh, you killed your wife because she was cheating on you. Okay, cheating on you, that's the reason. Is it a justification? No. Like, it's not an excuse. It's just the reason. Things can have reasons without using those reasons to justify them. You know? It's not the same. So, Frank Seravalli... I don't know what's going on, man. This is like the third video I think we've made over the course of the past few months where Seravalli literally calls somebody out. He called out Sidney Crosby, I'm pretty sure. I think he called out Mitch Marner, too. Did we not talk about that a few days ago? I'm not too sure, but either way, he's called out Petey, and it's pretty ugly. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.